welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg. This is my YouTube channel. All right, what are we doing tonight? All right, well, I've got myself in trouble. So I did a review on this Lionel train set right here. This is a battery operated train set, and we got this from Ollie's. Ollie's is kind of one of those discount warehouse places where they buy out large lots of things that didn't sell or whatever. Anyway, that's where we got that. And what started all this is I bought this this battery operated train set off of Temu, and this guy is certainly by no means no stretch of the imagination, like a high quality set, but it does have some interesting things. If I could figure out how to turn it on, I'd show you. For instance, let's see if it's got any water in it. It's all right. So yeah, it's got the side smoker and the sounds and whatever. And one of the things that we used was, this is not actually O scale, which is what this track is. If you were to place this on this track, it would not run. So that was a disappointment. So I thought, surely if we can get a Lionel set, that'll be better. Now the Lionel set that we got, this is O gauge, and actually this has the functioning front and rear pilots. This is actually for a child's toy, and that's what this is. And that's one of the things that we need to keep in mind as we're talking about this. This is actually a child's toy, and one of the first indications of that is that on the box it says it's for ages 3 and up. So that kind of gives you a starting ground on why we're talking about this at all. So all right. So anyway, so we ran the Lionel set, ran it around, and it just didn't perform very well, guys. It just didn't, and I read you guys' comments. Some of you have bought this for your grandchildren and so forth and so on. And I was really kind of like, oh my goodness, what did I do? And then I read some other comments that this was actually the first iteration, or one of the first iterations of this set. And the later iterations apparently are better. So there may be some consolation in there somewhere. And I'm going to put the model number that this is right here in the video. And you guys can match it up and see if you see what you did. So all right, so I'm used in the review video that surely Lionel didn't actually make this. That maybe somebody had bought license to their name to produce this on some sort of limited term. But what it turns out, and what the most logical comment that I read is that this was like a cooperative effort between Lionel and another toy company. And actually, when I show you what I've discovered, that will actually make sense. So all right. So what wasn't good? What wasn't good about this? What made us go So all right. So as wide as this track is, this is actually 027 track, which means it's a 27 radius if you were to have a circle of track. And this actually does not run very well on 027 track. That's a real shame. And we'll talk about why that could be maybe a saving grace here in a minute. But anyway, the real problem with this is not actually the Locomotive. The Locomotive actually, I think Lionel had their hands in the Locomotive. I think that probably function-wise, this is probably fine. So, all right, you may notice that we have some other stuff here on the table, and this is kind of a glance back to the past. Some of the things that Lionel has learned and apparently forgotten in the past. So, all right, so this guy, you'll notice, is much smaller than what your typical 1960s entry model the steam locomotive is. I mean, that's this would have been like 1962 probably, and let's see, 1962 probably, and let's see which one I had. And this is obviously the new one, and you'll see that this is much smaller. So all right, so I'm not saying everything that's new or everything that's old comes around again. I almost said that wrong, didn't I? But this is a Lionel Jr. And this was a result of when Lionel put Ives out of business, acquired Ives. I guess that's the official story. And you'll notice that this is smaller. This was from a different tooling, and it's very reminiscent of this guy. If you look, it's very, very reminiscent. So I think that may be some of where the idea of this came from. So what I was saying, so lessons that Lionel has learned that they have forgotten. So all right, so the actual problem with this set, and it's a shame because there's not an easy way to fix this problem. It's not the Locomotive. It is the cars. It's the cars. The problem is the cars. And if you turn these cars over, and this is just an example, they're all this way. These are all solid axle, solid axle wheels. And if you know anything about physics at all, you know that when this goes around this track, that inside wheel is going to want to turn faster than this than this outside one. And because it's got the fixed axle, and because there's two axles per truck, that's going to really fight. So just to demonstrate just a little bit. So we'll just put this in. Now watch, when it hits that curve there, it's almost like it puts on the brakes. Watch. Oops, I don't think I didn't. Well, it helps if you have it on the track. All right, let's try it again. Take two. all right, here we go. See how it just stops? It just stops in the middle of the curve. And it doesn't matter how hard you push it, what you do, it's always going to do that. It's all right. All right, so one of the lessons that Lionel learned in the past that I think that they have forgotten is during the MPC era, you know, there was a move to make the cars lighter, so you could pull more with less of a stout locomotive, and that was kind of what the MPC era was about. You know, lighter, less expensive to manufacture, less expensive to ship, etc. But anyway, one of the innovations they came up with was the trucks on this guy. Actually, the way these metal axles fit into these plastic trucks, it forms kind of like a needle bearing, and these guys roll just exceptionally well. So all right, watch, and this is, you know, once again, same track. Watch what happens when this this big box car hits that curve. Totally different. Totally different. And I mean, it doesn't matter how hard I shove this guy. I mean, it's always going to get to that same spot, and it's going to lock, because I mean, it's fighting itself. It has to. It's physics. See? And it's the worst on the two, unfortunately, the two passenger cars. Now I think a lot of Lionel's budget on this was the art on these passenger cars. It's a shame that we can't modify these trucks or do something else with this, because I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I love this. So all right, so let's see, what else do I have up here, and why was I going to talk about it? So all right, this was just another example from the MPC era. This is from our micro racer set. Now watch this guy. I mean, this guy, whoo. Yeah, I mean, same track, and the difference is, you know, you don't have the you don't have it fighting against each other. So all right, so you know, lesson learned and unlearned, I guess. So all right, so how can you do this? How can you fix this? So all right, one of the things that you can do, and somebody pointed this out in the comments, is instead of using this track that they provided, which isn't very good anyway, if you run this on just the traditional 3-rail Lionel track, it actually runs pretty well. And I think the reason for that is because these just don't get a lot of traction on the metal, as opposed to this that's not you know, it's not metal, it's not slippery. So all right, so that does work pretty well. Actually ran the set in my train room earlier today on the 6-foot radius, and my goodness, it just kind of sings on that. So anyway, I'll show that here in a little bit. But all right, so interesting. So let's get this guy on the track, just as a kind of a reminder of what we're thinking about, what we're dealing with. Then I'm going to show you something very interesting. I'm going to show you something very interesting, and this will be why I think Lionel had their hands in the actual locomotive itself. It's all right. Like I said, these guys just not a good design. That is the problem. And it's okay in the straightaways, because the wheels are all turning at the same speed. And I just don't like these couplers either. But anyway, oh my goodness, fight with these again. So all right, I'm trying to get to the part that you're gonna go, wow, and it's coming. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. It is coming, because it is very impressive. It is actually quite impressive. When I did it earlier, I was impressed. So all right. So once again, these train cars don't weigh hardly anything. It's just the wheels fighting against themselves that like it's creating a braking effect is actually what it's doing. So all right, here we go. So all right, just not a fan of these couplers. So all right, I don't know if you could see actually the other night in the review video what I was talking about, but when this locomotive gets into the curve and those other tracks start entering the curve, it just really, I mean, it bogs down, and you can actually you can actually hear the 2 traction tires, and that's your first clue that they knew that there was a problem. They knew they were in trouble, is because there's 2 traction tires on the back of this small locomotive, and that tells you that they struggled with that, and that was their fix. It just wasn't a very good fix. So, all right, here we go. Let's see. All right, so can you see that it's just not liking those curves? It gets into those curves, and it's just like it just binds. So yeah, not that great. And it's working really hard to do that. So all right, so here's the interesting thing. Here's the kind of fun thing that I found. So all right, we'll turn this guy off. So all right, I'm gonna take all these cars off, and we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something very unorthodox. Wow, we never do anything like that on this channel, would we? Oh, other than throw around the train cars. We don't want to do that, regardless of whatever quality they are. So all right, so let's see. What I was gonna do is I was gonna take these pre-war, early 1900s American Flyer, very heavy metal cars, and you notice they got the dual axles, and you notice that they're not the solid axles, and let's just see what happens. And I've already tried this, I know what happens. but you will not believe it unless you see it. So these cars are not light. I mean, they are not light at all. And yep, this is actually the train cars that go behind my American Flyer cast iron set. Little cast iron locomotive from the early 1900s. We got this set actually from a man, who's a grandpa that fixed it up for his grandson, I guess. And the grandson didn't want it. And every time I tell this story, it's just like, it gets me, because that's sad. Take the train. See, this one's even got like a Tonka toy on it. That's not light. So right, here we go. So I don't remember if I left the tender on there or not. Maybe we're fixing to find out. So all right, these little latches will go on on those funky couplers. They just latch in. Probably if you had some Marx cars, this would work too. So all right, is that gonna stay together? Maybe. I had it together before, but I think maybe I ran it without the tender. Is what I think I did, and I may do that again. All right, here we go, shenanigans. It's what we do. It's what we do. So, all right. Oh, well now, Greg, you didn't get all the cars on there. All right, you guys ready for these shenanigans? All right, so these are some very heavy pre-war American Flyer cars behind this very small Lionel locomotive. And this is how I know that Lionel had their hands in this. This is the evidence right here. How about that? Very cool. Very nice. So that's what 2 traction tires will get you. Wow. And it doesn't sound like it's struggling at all. As a matter of fact, it doesn't sound like it's binding in those curves, which is interesting because these super light ones, it does. All right, very cool. So the shenanigans that you'll see on this channel. All right, so I guess what I would say to all of you that may have already purchased this set, especially if it's the model number, and once again I'll put the model number right here, this model number, you may want to plan on, if you have 3-rail track, pulling it out, and depending upon the age of the child. Now, keeping in mind that the age said 3 and up, you may not want a 3-year-old obviously playing with metal track, but yeah. So one of the things that I actually could see that this might be kind of cool is if like Dad had a layout in the garage, and son wanted to take his model train out there and run it, because this will run on the 3-rail. We're fixing to show that, and that might be a plus. That might be cool. So all right, let's take it in there. Let's take it into the holiday layout. We'll do a little run session, and then I think we're gonna call this about it. I just wanted to kind of give it a second chance and just kind of look at it and figure out why it doesn't work. Because when things don't work, I kind of like to know why. and I think we figured it out. I think Lionel had their hands directly in the locomotive. I suspect probably some other folks, maybe even several different folks, had their hands in the designs of the cars, because not even some of the cars are designed differently. For instance, this has got the 4 wheels This has got 6 wheels on the same size. This has got the 6 wheels, and once again with the solid axles. The solid axles just wasn't a great idea on a 027 track, even for a toy. But all right, let's take it in there on the holiday layout. Let's see what it looks like. I think we'll be happy.
On a track where the giants roar, rolling thunder down the line, there's a little train with a mighty heart, chugging on, longing to shine. GGS Railways hears the call. With every turn he stands so tall, while the bigger trains go zooming past. The little train's running, holding fast. Oh, the little train that could, chugging along like he knows he should, beating with a heart so brave and true, making dreams alive in every hue. Dancing wheels on the candy-coated track, with a melody that never holds back. We'll sing away up high above. It's the little train that taught us love. Though those mighty engines race ahead, his whistle sings out a different tune. Every twist and turn he holds his ground, bouncing to the beat under the glowing moon. Joyful laughter fills the air as children wave with hands in the air. They watch him sparkle, they see his glow. The little train's magic puts on a show. And when the sun sets low, he starts to glow, filling the night with a hopeful show. The rhythm of the heart, a tune so bright, with every chug he leaves winter's bite. Through tunnels dark, he'll find the way, bringing the magic to every holiday. A flash of colors, bright in the night, together we'll dance till morning light. Oh, the little train that could, chugging along like he knows he should, beating with a heart so brave and true, making dreams alive in every hue. Dancing wheels on the candy-coated track, with a melody that never holds back. We'll sing away up high above. It's the little train that taught us love. So gather round, let your spirit soar, with GGS Railways, who could ask for more? The little train's here to melt your heart in this festive world.
guys, in conclusion, I guess I would say that the people that commented about the three-rail track were right. The three-rail track that's larger than an 027, this guy seems to work really, really well. So if you have any of the larger than 027 gauge, the steel track like this, you're probably good to go. Now that plastic track, it works okay, but those, like I said, those train cars, they like to bind in the corners. It just was not what I was expecting when I saw the Lionel name, you know, irrespective of the price. Now I will say that, you know, possibly some of the shortcomings might be the fault of you and I, and this is what I mean by that. So for years we've said, you know, Lionel, you need to come out with a less expensive entry-level set for, you know, people that are just getting in the hobby. Well, you know, they're trying. So, all right. And as somebody else, you know, said in the comments, perhaps this is one of the first iterations, and probably maybe the later iterations are better. So, all right, that's probably why this wound up at Ollie's. But once again, on the steel track, nothing wrong. Pretty cool. Works really well. All right, guys. Until next time, GGS Railways out. So cool.
GGS Railways, we're here to play.